Where you at, Berto?
When your gooning gets leaked. One thing about these gooners, man, there's always gonna be a new batch of them. Let's get right into it. And unfortunately, it looks like it's a lot of content creators. What a surprise.
What happens when gooning destroys your online reputation? One such person this happened to was Atriarch, whose accidental leak was perhaps the most infamous in this entire video. It was an otherwise ordinary Monday in late January 2023 when this story unfolds. Atriarch was in the middle of a live stream when his open tabs popped up on his screen for literally
Rookie mistake. But he didn't know how to clear the search history tabs. Come on, man.
a frame or two at most. It's very likely that given the fact it wasn't on his screen for even a second, Atriarch didn't know at the time that he had just contributed to the most humiliating and damaging moment of his entire career.
Good work back there. The syndicate took a serious blow.
What time is it where I am? What time is it PST?
Hold it. Run that back.
What time is it where I am?
Enhanced section A6.
Eagle-eyed viewers analysed the frame and quickly unearthed a shocking discovery. Atriarch had been accessing a deepfake porn site. Just for reference, in case there's anyone who's watching this that doesn't know what a deepfake is, it's essentially when
using a deepfake for corn is a different level of down bad. This nigga had to reenact his fantasies with all his favorite people. That's crazy.
you digitally superimpose the face and features of one person onto another. So in a lot of cases, people take the likeness of young, attractive female celebrities and put them onto a porn actress to make it look like what's happening to them is actually happening to the female celebrity instead.
That's crazy,
This
bro.
means that deepfakes lack the consent of the person who's having their likeness.
I'm never gonna co-sign the gooning culture, but it's like, I'm human, right? We've all been there. We've all, you know, smacked the pecker a couple of times. And it's just, I've never been so invested to the point where I would have to do some shit like this. Like, bruh, I know a lot of y'all are gonna call cap in the comment section, but I swear on everything, if I'm lying, I'm flying. God strike me down right now. I'm not even playing, bro. Outside of like super mainstream corn actresses, I never even cared what the fuck their name was. You know what I'm saying? I would watch it, get my shit off, and then, you know, sit there in disappointment and be, you know, ashamed of myself for a couple of seconds and move on with my life. Like, I'm not in that trying to figure out the plot, you know, learn the backstory of the actress and whatnot. Like, y'all was way too invested, bro. I don't know. Let me know if I'm tripping. Like, y'all, is anybody else like that? Is this a normal thing where it's like, I need to know every detail about this actress? Like, bro, I'm in love.
Taken. With the rise of AI, it's easier and easier to make this kind of content, which is posing an ever-growing problem for the victims, who are largely young, attractive female celebrities. And in the case of Atriarch, this is where things get even worse. You see, Atriarch is a very large streamer. Today, even after his earth-shattering scandal, he still has a combined 1.25 million followers between his Twitch and YouTube. When this
he's straight.
was going down, he was closely associated with some of the largest names in live streaming, such as Ludwig.
Man, this nigga Ludwig always got some weird-ass friends, bro. I'm telling you, we need to investigate Ludwig, bro. Every time I see a YouTuber or content creator doing some crazy you know, some disgusting activities, somehow, some way, it always leads back to them being close to Ludwig.
You might remember me mentioning Ludwig in my recent video about when alcohol ruins your career, but Ludwig is one of the most well-connected content creators on the entire internet. He has a lot of friends, and even a couple of enemies. And he has a girlfriend known as Cutie Cinderella, who in her own right is extremely popular, and she too is close friends with a lot of the largest streamers, particularly a lot of the largest female streamers on the internet. So you might be wondering to yourself, why am I even bringing her name up? Well, as it turns out, Cutie Cinderella, the girlfriend of one of Atriarch's closest friends, actually had deepfakes of herself on this website. Other notable female streamers on the site included Pokimane, Maya Higa, and Sweet Anita. This man had a gooning session to the women that were essentially the closest thing he had to female colleagues.
That's weird. That's actually really weird.
Embarrassing, doesn't
You whacking your shit to your homie's girl, bro?
even cut it. Shortly after this was all exposed, Atriarch would come out on stream with his wife by his side to deeply apologize and try to explain his side of the story. He would reveal that he only accessed the site one time while his wife was out of town.
Capping your ass off, boy. Oh, I only did it one time. Yeah, okay.
And he had the receipt to prove that he purchased access to the site the
You
very
bought it
same
too?
day he accidentally leaked it.
Yeah, bro, this
After
nigga's
he
a
was
super
done, he
gooner.
had just forgotten to close the tab.
I don't know. I just clicked the fucking link at 2 a.m. and the morals didn't catch up to me, and I'm sorry. I really fucking am.
And to many people, that's where they thought the story ended. But it does in fact go on. Ever since this incident,
Could never pay. Could never pay. Again, you know, we not condoning doing this type of shit at all. But then you paying for it, bro. Like, I just don't get it, bro.
Atriarch has been on the straight and narrow, and you can tell that he's genuinely tried to make amends for his actions. He's donated a lot of his money, in excess of $100,000, to try and get deepfake sites taken down, and he has actually succeeded in large parts.
Bro, I know I'm pausing a lot, but I'm just hearing crazy shit right now. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't give a fuck what level of gooner I am. I'm not donating $100,000 just to prove to y'all that I'm not a gooner. Nigga, if I get exposed as a gooner, bitch, I'm standing on that. I'm not donating 100 bands to try to prove to y'all that I've gotten over my gooning addiction. So what, nigga? Hell nah. He donated 100 bands to try and clear his goon allegations? Like, yeah, it's weird, but I mean, it ain't 100,000 weird though, bro. Everybody whack their shit to something. Fuck. Yo, real quick, if you like making money, I need you to watch this part of the video. If you don't like making money, then go ahead and skip it, but that really should be none of y'all. I know you guys have been seeing me promote this new app called Free Cash, and the big talk of the town is
this a scam, Berto? What is this?
Well, look at this guy and this guy. All people from our community that are making money through the Free Cash app. The link is in the description. Even one person from my boy Astro Dior's community made $1,000 using the Free Cash app. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, you can make free money while playing games on your phone. But let me break this down in a very clear way for you guys so you know exactly what's going on. When you sign up for Free Cash using the link in my description, once you're in, you're gonna see a list of games pop up. You download them, you play them, you beat the levels, get to the certain requirements that they tell you to hit. And once you get there, you're gonna get some credits sent to your account. Every single time you hit the requirements, you get paid real money. And they make the process so easy that you can cash out that money into your PayPal or even gift cards. And yes, it is completely free to use. Now, there are some options where you can spend a little cheese to get through the level faster, but you don't need to do that. The reason why this is even possible is because these games are trying to get new players onto their platform. So they pay free cash to pay you to get people to play the game. Now, I know I showed you a crazy example of somebody making up to $1,000, which it's possible, but realistically, it might take some time. This is just an easy way you can make an extra 10, maybe 20 bucks, just doing something that you guys probably do for free anyway. So if you're gonna be bullshitting on your phone playing games, why not get paid? So if you've been on the fence, this is your sign. Click the link in my description and try out a few games. And when you make your money, take a screenshot and send it to me, bro, because I want to see y'all make that cheese. Because if I'm winning, I want to make sure y'all winning too. I love y'all. Y'all know what to do. Link in the description, and you're gonna get a $5 bonus using my shit. Now let's get right back to the video. Where you at, family?
According to sources I could find, he's helped take down hundreds of them. In his apology, he does come out to appear genuinely remorseful. And so a lot of people have since accepted that perhaps in a moment of weakness, he made a mistake that will haunt him until his dying day. But given that he's made genuine efforts to make up for what he's done, he's been able to recover a large portion of his audience. If you take a look at his social blade, you will see a clear story unfold. His leak happened at the tail end of January, so his channel wasn't really affected until February 2023. You can see that he loses subscribers and his views flatline. But several months later, after he put in the work to make amends, his channel saw a second wind, and today he's once more growing. It's impossible to say what his relationship is like with QC and the other female streamers today, but she did say at the time that their relationship was irreparable.
I'm the last person who wants to dislike him. He is one of my boyfriend's best friends. He's only ever been so kind to me. I love spending time around him. If anything, I'm ostracizing myself more from my boyfriend's friends because now I don't want to be around him. I don't want to hate this guy. I really don't. I've loved him for years at this point. I'm devastated, and it's like, what do you want me to do though? Like, how do you move on from that? I don't know. And maybe
it is weird as hell though.
8 months from now, you know, emotions settle and something, but I don't see it happening. It's just like, I just can't believe the shit that it's caused.
But this is one case where gooning almost ended a thriving online career. But due to a genuine effort to make amends, it was able to be salvaged. I'm genuinely curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the situation, so let me know down below in the comment section, because it's definitely divided fans. So yeah, express your thoughts on the situation, or to be honest, any of the stories we have today down in the comments. But of course, Atriarch is not the only person who's ever been exposed for gooning while live. We still have plenty of cases to get.
This nigga look like a goonaholic himself. I'm judging too hard though. That ain't right. I'm sorry, I take that back. He just looked like he do though.
Too, such as someone who was caught gooning to NSFW horse and lolly content, and a prominent male streamer that had old OnlyFans videos of them leak. But for
that's a sketch he's probably talking about.
Now it's time to turn to the dark side.
Who's this?
If you're like me, you would have watched Drama Alert religiously back in 2016. The schisms, the feuds, the betrayals, it all had such a je ne sais quoi. And one such incident that Keem reported on back then, within a video that has since been seen by more than 1 million people, included DSP, commonly known online as Darkside Phil, who was caught jerking the gherkin while live on stream. What appears to have happened is that he set up a live stream to record himself gaming. And if you've ever watched a live stream before, you might be aware that this happens quite a lot. You'll get the notification that one's starting, you'll click on the live stream, and you'll be greeted to some sort of graphic saying, stream starting momentarily, it's gonna start in a few minutes. And this is just a way to get everyone into the live stream so that when the stream is ready, it can begin with a full audience. Well, in DSP's case, he did not realize that his camera was on and recording him. And for whatever reason, he decided that then would be the perfect time for a cheeky pre-stream wank. Need I say any more? It was only after he had finished that he realized that the camera was on the entire time.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
This is the face of a man who has just realized that he's whacked his gack in front of his entire audience. Let me just say that I really hope that he washed his hands before he picked up his controller to start gaming. DSP had around 200,000 subscribers at the time, and he would never see 300,000. It seems as though he essentially plateaued in growth around this time. And if you're a long-time viewer of his content, you'd know that realistically, him getting caught with his pants quite literally down was not the main reason this happened. Let's Plays are essentially dead in the water today. His content has not evolved with the times. And that's not to say anything of his reputation outside of this incident. On his very own wiki, I found that people call him a hypocrite, a liar, a man-child, and even the cancer of gaming, which is just a fantastic moniker to don. But let's be very honest with ourselves, getting caught choking the chimp while live definitely didn't do him any favors. But from chimps to horses...
How can you be that down bad though? I just don't get it, bro. I genuinely don't get it. Like, it's not ever that deep. I've never been, like, again, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I'm human, bro. We all at some point as men, feel a certain type of way, but to the point where you just can't control yourself. You just... I gotta do it right now. It's like, yo, what is up with niggas?
The words that you're about to hear come out of my mouth were not even fathomable before February 2024, because that's when the infamous Vaush leaks happened. If you don't know what I'm talking about, dear viewer, you're in for a ride.
Let's see.
So you're probably wondering to yourself, who is Vaush? Well, he's a left-wing political streamer closely associated with Destiny. According to an article by The Independent, he appeared on Destiny's streams from time to time, and he was encouraged by Destiny's audience to make his own channel. And so he did, cultivating a fastly growing audience, with him trying to appeal to white men that often felt disconnected from standard left-wing content creators who are usually soy-pilled, woke, and unmasculine. Vaush's growth, you'll see, was fairly consistent, with him achieving view counts of 5 to 6 million per month, essentially every month. But then you'll notice a sharp drop-off in February 2024, and the reason why can be traced back to an infamous livestream. Vaush seems to be looking up men's fashion, and then he right-clicks on one of the images, and so opens up a folder on his desktop for his entire audience to see. A folder titled To Be Sorted, and a folder that contains swaths and waves and dozens of images of not safe for work pornography. Now, for very obvious reasons, I will not be able to show you the contents of this folder. It is quite literally pornography. However, imagine, if you will, blowjobs, general intercourse, and the like. And imagine it being between a woman and a horse. And that is some of what showed up on Vaush's desktop. And to make matters even worse, there was lolly sprinkled in there too.
Yeah, this is just mental illness, bro. He needs to be packed up, never let back on the internet ever again. I need to see how this like played out.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Now, according to my research, I found a few comments that said that Vaush has spoken about horses in this manner in the past, so the fact that horse porn showed up on his PC wasn't the most shocking thing to happen that day. The lolly, though, needed some answers, and within his response video, Vaush said that he simply didn't know. He argued that art is up for interpretation, and when scanning it over for the brief moment before he saved it, he just didn't clock that these images were considered
Okay, we're not buying this, buddy.
as lolly.
By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. Now,
Shut up, bro. You got horse porn in your shit.
obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now,
Yes.
the obvious and predictable, but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that. And that must not have been the impression I got from those 2 drawings, because if I had gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them, you know?
Shut up.
I mean, drawings are abstract
People like this are so annoying. Just stand on it, bro. You're a weirdo. We got it.
and art styles and body proportions vary massively, even for characters that are unambiguously adults. That doesn't mean lolly isn't a thing or a problem. I've bitched about it being a problem like a lot on stream. It just means that carelessly or inattentively failing to notice it isn't exactly impossible. Yeah, I know what some people are going to say, you know, no, you must have known. There's no way you didn't know. And like what am I going to do? Make a fucking evidentiary argument here?
Yes, that's the only way out of this. But it's like, no, you wouldn't do that because it doesn't even make sense. Bro, the fact that you even got a collection folder saved on your computer, again, it's just never been that deep. Holy shit. But then it is that deep because you got horse, you got a lot, like, come on, man. Whoa, you're GG's, bro. You're absolutely cooked.
You know, like, I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever.
Pixels and
I know
proportions,
fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think those people should go looking for them, obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or, as I've already seen on Twitter, just post other really bad looking shit and say that's what I had in my folder. There's not much I can do about it, right? It's all totally unfalsifiable, and people are going to make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice the problem while saving the drawings, the same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or inattentive or distracted.
Clearly, this excuse was not going to work for many of his haters, and so after the infamous leaks, he was called not only a zoophile, but also a pedophile. Several
A zoophile. Hey, they had to make a new word for this nigga, or at least one I ain't heard before.
large creators such as H3H3, Diesel Patches, and Sensitive Society would give their thoughts on the situation. However, a lot of people surprisingly stood by Vaush. His response video was generally taken very well.
Yeah, the only people that stood by him are the people that are also participating in this activity. Facts. Y'all are weird.
Actually having a fairly positive like to dislike ratio, all things considered. Just like Atriarch before him, Vaush would lose a substantial chunk of his audience in the initial backlash. However, over the next several months, he was able to win many of them back. Just like Atriarch before him, he's now performing just as well, or maybe even better than he was before the leaks. And just like Atriarch, this man went through perhaps one of the most embarrassing things to ever happen to anyone on the internet, and was still able to walk out the other side of it with his career intact. His reputation to outsiders is obviously damaged at best. You can't completely come back from something like this. To many people outside of his community, he will forever be known as the guy who's in.
So he's still like relevant? Like niggas still fucking with him? That's crazy. But like I said, he probably just got so big, and you know, people gravitate towards things that they have similar interest in, man. I mean, they even said that he was on stream saying that he liked horses in a certain way. So he low-key probably built an audience full of weirdos. No offense to y'all, but actually all offense to y'all, because what the fuck? Y'all like horses? Come on, man.
To horse porn and lolly. But now more than a year and a half since his controversy, Vaush is still alive and kicking. Okay.
Well, I don't wish death on a nigga. God damn.
Little update. This is a bit of a coincidence, but ever since I wrote, recorded, and edited this video, Vaush has yet again had allegations come his way. A woman known as Sarah Fields, a Republican state delegate, came out on Twitter this past week to share some screenshots of Vaush allegedly inappropriately messaging a minor when he was 23 years old back in 2017. H3H3 has covered this on his channel within a video that has been seen by 400,000.
This nigga a weirdo too though.
And counting, and the tweet now has near enough 1 million views. If these screenshots are legitimate, then it doesn't look good for the folder situation. And people in the comment section are mentioning it once more. So maybe this is the final straw for Vaush. We'll just have to wait and see. So we should be a little bit more than halfway through the video right now, and I'd just like to quickly ask you guys that if you haven't already, please make
like, comment, subscribe, all that.
Sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The rest of this video speak for itself. On to the quickest story we have. This next one will be discussing the largest name that we have today. Because believe this or not, IShowSpeed had an unfortunate search pop up while live, which was then spread throughout the internet.
Not Speed. My dog, no. He's so young,
IShowSpeed,
or he was so young when this probably happened,
is no stranger to having things pop up or out during his streams. If you can remember back to his infamous Chica incident, IShowMeat accidentally exposed himself.
Yeah, he tweaked
in front of essentially the entire internet. Once you've gone through something like that, I feel like what we're about to discuss won't have as much of an impact on you, even if it is still very embarrassing. To cut to the chase, back in late 2023, while live, he began Googling something. After typing in H and O, the bar autofilled to how to have sex in cyberpunk.
If that ain't the most 14, 16-year-old bullshit I have ever seen, nigga. Nigga so gooned out, he's trying to figure out how to freak off in cyberpunk, bruh. Jesus.
Given IShowSpeed's chokehold on the live streaming space, given his immense popularity and clout, this single frame or two was spotted and then shared by media outlets such as Sportskeeda and Drama Alert, who sounded the alarm bells on Twitter. Do keep in mind that Keemstar would have been 41 years old by this point, and he took the time out of his day to go onto Twitter and tell the masses, tell the world, ring the alarm bells out, that IShowSpeed, who was 18 at the time, had potentially been
18, doing this at 18 is crazy though, Speed. Damn, I'm over here thinking 14, 16, 18. Yeah, bro. Hell no, lock in, man.
Gooning to cyberpunk. Breaking news, guys, our top story tonight. An 18-year-old male might have been wanking. Well, I, for one, am shocked and appalled. You will be getting a strongly worded letter, Mr. IShowSpeed. Won't somebody please think of the children? And also keep in mind that this does not mean that IShowSpeed actually got off to it. It's just that he searched up how to do it. Maybe he did that because he thought that it would be funny, or he just wanted.
All right, now we're coping. Now we're coping, gang.
To get his character laid. Who knows? The search does seem fairly incriminating upon first glance, but to be honest, it doesn't mean anything. That said, because it was reported on and seen by over 6 million people on Twitter, and because it fit the criteria of this video, I thought that I'd include it. Generally though, I think that this is nothing more than a fat, juicy Nothingburger. But if we're discussing the fastest growing live streamers on the internet, then I would be remiss not to mention Sketch, who in the summer of 2024 had his life turned around after it was discovered that he had a history in participating in gay OnlyFans content.
Crazy. This was definitely one of the ones where when it happened, it's like, I was not expecting this on my bingo card today.
So Sketch is a very large live streamer with more than 1.6 million followers on Twitch. However, his blossoming online career suffered a great disturbance in July 2024, after a video by a channel called Pocketbook Philosophy was released into the ether. The video was titled
The internet's crazier than the FBI, bruh. The internet is undefeated, boy.
The Real
They gonna
Sketch.
find everything about your ass, man.
The Untold Story
Sheesh.
of Jamie Marr. Within this video, Pocketbook revealed one of Sketch's deepest, darkest secrets. That being that 2 years prior, before he had started his streaming career, Sketch had participated in homosexual OnlyFans content. But here's the interesting thing. After this all blew up, there was a large portion of people who questioned, what was the problem? Sketch was a legal adult when he made these videos, and he consented to be in them.
That's the only thing with Sketch's situation. You know, I'm not saying I co-sign it, but I just respect the fact that he was just like, look, bruh, I was on some other shit. I was into that shit. I did that shit. It is what it is. And, you know, I could always respect a motherfucker that, you know, at the end of the day, it was legal. It was on his own time. And, you know, it's just kind of one of the situations like, I'm gonna mind my business. You're not doing nothing wrong, technically. You know, do I agree with it? I mean, it's not really my place to even give a fuck, but yeah.
So therefore, what people were upset about was a grown man consensually participating in adult content. Many people were arguing that there wasn't actually anything wrong with this, and they were accusing anyone who was upset at this of being homophobic. On top of that, some people were mad at Pocketbook. You see, Pocketbook said that he felt comfortable revealing this information because being LGBT shouldn't be a problem in the modern day. But at the same time, many fans thought that Sketch had been outed for having been in sex work.
Damn, he probably cooked his audience from that, huh?
They felt as though Sketch should have been the one to choose whether or not the public knew about his past.
Honestly, that's kind of fair though. He shouldn't have dropped that video. That wasn't his business to tell. That's one of those situations, unless you got permission or it was already like public knowledge, and then you go further into like, I guess, research the situation, fine. But you know, yeah, now I think about it, it's pretty distasteful to just up and try to like expose something that was never really wrong in the first place.
I found a Reddit thread that agreed with this statement. They felt that this just wasn't Pocketbook's place, and that this wasn't journalism. This felt like a needless attack that had detrimental effects to both Sketch's professional and personal life. I do agree that a lot of people that were negatively reacting to this were probably just being homophobic. That said, I feel as though no matter who it was, if there was someone in Twitch's elite, their 0.1%, that had any sort of pornographic video of them leaked, it would be the subject of intense online discourse and scrutiny. But obviously, if the content is LGBT, it's only naturally going to see more hate. Sketch would eventually respond to the murmurs, coming completely clean and saying this.
I did not have sexual relations with that man. I'm just kidding, I did. Yeah, that was me. I f***ed up. I won't do it again. I'm just kidding. Well, I am dead serious about not doing it again. That was a dark time, rough time.
But as has been a fairly common theme in this video, Sketch would not see his career end because of the controversy.
And you know, and I'm happy about that, but I will say I do feel like after the controversy, I haven't seen as much as Sketch. Like I remember at the time he was everywhere, collaborations left and right, and I'm sure he's still doing his thing, and shout out to him, but I do feel like it derailed some of his momentum though. But you know, again, I'm happy he's still doing his thing. He's standing on his business. He's like, hey, it is what it is, man.
He's still a very popular creator, albeit if you take a look at his social blade, you'll notice that his growth was severely impacted.
Yeah,
maybe
that's how I felt. It felt that way.
It's just a coincidence and it was always going to slow down. But after July 2024, Sketch couldn't continue his exponential growth. While this revelation didn't end his career, it certainly impacted it.
Word, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, bro. You know, one of these kind of unemployed videos today, but you know, sometimes we got to tap in and see what's going on with the most recent gooners of the internet. This should be crazy.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.